Afternoon.
Hello.
Bad news about Heung-min Son.
Yeah. Bad news.
Fractured arm. How long is he going to be out for? How much are you going to miss him? Who's going to play instead? All that sort of thing.
For how long I'm going to miss him, I think that Simon found a very nice way to write the statement. If I was the one to write the statement, I would write different than he did. So you can understand what I mean. So we miss him, according to Simon, for a few weeks.
A number of weeks.
A number of weeks.
Off the back of Harry Kane being out, possibly until very close to the end of the season, this puts a lot of workload now on Lucas Moura and Steven Bergwijn, doesn't it?
Yeah. Yes, you are right.
And tomorrow, the game against Leipzig, I mean, not an easy game, but it could have been a lot worse in terms of opposition going
Could be.
forward. It could have been a lot worse. Could have been Barcelona, Real Madrid.
I don't know. Barcelona and Real Madrid, they have the power and they have the impact of an incredible history. But Leipzig, they have the power of a very good team, very good players, and of course an emergent club without an history like the big ones that you have in Europe, but with the potential to be first in the Bundesliga for many months, to be second 1 point behind, and to be fighting for the title, I think tells a lot.
Both Ian at the front here.
Jose, you had to find a different way of playing without Harry Kane. How will you now cope without Son? Will you have to try a different style again?
Yeah, has to be. I know that if I don't say something strong, you are going to stay in the same questions. So you know that I like analogies. Is the word right? You know that I like analogies, and sometimes I do good ones, sometimes I do silly ones. But in this case, I try to do one for you. When we arrived, we were in the -12 floor. We got the stairs and we start climbing. But immediately in the beginning, the stairs, they broke. So we were in trouble and we were finding a way to try to get. We found a way, we start climbing, lots of work, lots of effort, and we start going and going and going. And when 11 steps, 11th floor, we go. And when we are arriving on the 4th floor, which was when we wanted to arrive, somebody come and took the stairs away. So now we are in trouble. Now we are with our arms in the balcony in the 4th floor. And now we have two options. One is to give up and fall and normally die because it's a 4th floor. Another way is to fight with what we have. No stairs, but arms. So we are going to be in that balcony, fighting with everything that we have. And there is only one possibility of help on this incredible fight that we have ahead of us. Our public. No strikers, no market, no players, nothing. The only help that we can have now, especially playing at home, is our crowd, is the Tottenham supporters. So looking to the game tomorrow, that's the only thing that I ask, because to the players I cannot ask more than what they are giving. I know that they are going to give exactly the same, which is everything they have. They have to cope with this mental situation of losing Sonny after losing Harry a few months ago. But I never ask anything from our supporters. I ask this time. Maybe they want to give me what I ask. I believe so, because the players they deserve. So it's the only thing that I ask is for the Spurs fan to be behind the players, because the players they deserve.
But despite that, Tottenham are enjoying their best run of form since December 2018.
Yeah.
So what does that say about the group of players that you have, despite the problems you've encountered, that all of a sudden now you're just starting to get a little bit of momentum?
You know, that's work, that's players' mentality. But the situation couldn't be worse in terms of options. I think that is a very, very, very obvious situation. There is nothing that we can do. We are going to play with the players that we have available. The players are going to give absolutely everything, which is what they are doing. In some periods, I was worried about not having attacking options on the bench. Now I don't have attacking options on the pitch. So, again, analogies apart, are we going to give up, or are we going to fight the way we can? We are going to fight the way we can. And we know that is very, very, unfair, if you want to say that, for the players after such hard work, because they recovered 11 points to the 4th position in the Premier League. 11 points. That's what the boys recovered from 3 months ago until today, was 11 points, not 2, 3 or 4, 11 points. And when we arrive in this moment full of hopes, very enthusiastic with that challenge of the Premier League, knockout of the Champions League, last 16 in the in the FA Cup, we put ourselves in this privileged situation, and yesterday, the bad news. The first thing was to break our hearts, and the second thing was to break our team. But we have to recover from broken hearts, and we have to fight with the team that we have. So let's go with a smile. Let's go strong. I'm not going to give up, and probably opponents they are thinking, "Wow, now is the time to kill them," which I understand if they think that way, but we are going to give everything, and I don't think it's going to be easy for Leipzig to play against us. I don't think it's going to be easy for Chelsea to play against us. I don't think it will be easy for them.
Dan?
Jose, are you counting on Son playing again this season? And
I don't.
You don't count on him to play again this season?
I don't. If he plays 1 game or 2 games, it's because of he's very optimistic, and it's because I hope he's right. But in my mind, no. In my mind, I'm not thinking about that.
Okay, and you mentioned your options there. So could it be an opportunity perhaps to accelerate the development of Sessegnon or perhaps Troy Parrott, young players like them? Are they in your thoughts?
My thoughts are that Parrott is not ready, and Sessegnon is not a striker.
Okay, can you talk us through what your thinking would be for the front three then?
Play without a striker.
Got a question to Gary behind you.
Hi, Jose. You said in one of your previous answers that the market is out of the question. Obviously, that's not the case in a different league for Barcelona. Dembele injured after the window closed. They're allowed to bring a striker in. Have you investigated whether there's a possibility to do that in this country?
I didn't, and I was not aware of that possibility. I don't think it's possible. Honestly, I don't think it's possible.
Okay, go to the raise your hand.
Peter Crouch.
Gary, Puff. Gary, the gentleman just over there with the glasses behind you. There you go. Thank you.
Okay. Hi, one question from Germany, Nico Pomarenko from Sports One Television. Your opponent as a coach tomorrow will be Julian Nagelsmann, who is representing some sort of new coach generation.
What's that?
I'm sorry?
What's that new coach generation?
It's a pretty young coach, and he has a trend the last years, I think so. And how have you been following his career so far, and what do you think about your opponent tomorrow?
My opponent is Leipzig.
Your opponent's coach, I'm sorry.
I don't have opponent's coach. I don't play against him. I play against Leipzig. I play against his team, not against him.
Then have you been following his career so far, and how?
Offenheim before, did very well. Next step, Leipzig, doing very well. If he goes in the same direction, the next step will be even bigger. So I wish him obviously the best.